Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Nice. Anytime, Anywhere by Diane Bator. Yes? Did I say it right or wrong?
Yeah,
I said it wrong.
You got it right. You got it right.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
You got it right.
Anytime, Anywhere. Anytime. So the photo is... So I have to ask, is this a stock photo or did you make this photo?
These would have all been my photos.
Amazing. So it's great. So it's a photo of it could be a beach or it could be a Great Lake. I don't know. There's the sun maybe 2 hours above the horizon. Could be morning. Yeah, I'd say maybe it's morning. And it's there's like this shale beach. So it's no sand. It's not even pebbles. It's just these massive plates of wood. Not wood, of rough stone. The light's really warm. It's really nice. It's a clear sky. Just at the top left, you could just see some hint of brown. Maybe it's your finger. Maybe it's hair. Hard to know.
Probably my
And on the stones is a pad of paper, like a coil pad. Nothing's written on the pad, and there's a pen, a blue ballpoint pen. Anytime, Anywhere. Talk to me.
I'm a mystery writer. So anytime, anywhere that I get to sit down and write, like literally doctor's offices, just pretty much anywhere. If I'm waiting for people, whatever. That particular picture was taken on the shores of Lake Huron.
Okay.
Maybe not last summer before. And it would have been just before sunset because we had a perfect view of the sunset every night. So
nice. Lake Huron.
Yeah.
What do I know about Lake Huron? Other than it's really big, very little. Were you in a town called Meaford?
Just outside of Meaford, actually.
What?
No, you. True Canadian.
There's no reason why anyone should know where Meaford is other than people from the area. The reason why I know about it, just like shot in the dark, is I had in first year of university, I had a friend who was from Meaford, and it's just a name that I like to say, Meaford.
It's a great name.
Yes, yeah. You're a mystery writer.
I am, yeah. I've written 15 cozy mysteries now, or published 15 cozy mysteries. And I started off in Ontario, and like I said, I was born and raised in Alberta, so I'm back in Alberta and looking for some more fun spots to do some writing.
Oh, wow. So cozy mysteries, you said?
Cozy mysteries, which they're kind of, think of Murder, She Wrote, Monk, Columbo kind of thing. Like there's been a murder. It's not on screen. You don't see blood, guts, gore. Usually it's some small town person trying to solve the mystery because they have a reason to. But I find them kind of fun. Like you can be a little bit more lighthearted in those kind of genres than you can in others.
Yeah. Okay. So I had, so I come from the world of writing, right? My first degree was in creative writing. So I know that. I had a guest, she was Brazilian. I think she was Brazilian living in Houston. Her English was her second language.
Nice.
And she wrote romance novels. And when she said it, it was like one of those funny conversations where I think you bring your biases, prejudices, or whatever. In my case, although I know that romances are a massive, section in the bookstore, big sellers, right? But from what she described was that the boundaries of what fits as a romance are very almost strict. And so, is a cozy mystery as clearly defined?
I would say yes. People have been kind of pushing the boundaries, so they now have what's the other one now? Brosies. I had never heard of that till last year, but it's like guy friends that are solving mysteries, which I'm like, hey, of course. Like generally it's usually a man and a woman or two women. So absolutely bring on the guys too, because they have a whole different take on all this stuff. So
So 15 books.
yeah.
Which is your bestseller?
Oh my goodness. I would have to go in and look, but actually current my current new release is the third book in my Glitter Bay Mysteries, and I think that is the one that's been really a top seller for me. So,
Oh, nice.
and it takes place in a small town. There's two sisters who actually own a small vintage clothing shop, and they end up with a third sidekick who is a transgender woman who has become quickly one of my very favorite characters. She's just so much fun to play with. So,
Right. Okay. Well, in a way, you kind of answered it. Like, which book was, in a way, it's kind of like, it's almost like discovery, right? Like, in a way, when you're writing, you don't know where the story, you don't know where the story's going. You're following the characters, and in a way, they kind of reveal themselves. You have a good night's sleep, and you go, oh, I guess we're going in this direction. Which book probably surprised you the most?
oh, that's a really good question. um, I would say again, probably in my Glitter Base series, having this transgender character come out, and the character started off, presenting as a male and dressing kind of cross dressing, but still talking differently and stuff. And then when her mentor died, which is the big, not giving anything away, it's right on the cover. Her mentor died, and that's when she came out to these two young ladies and said, look, that's not my name. This is my name. I'm a she. Can you please respect that? And that was sort of loosely based on somebody I do know, and who always signs her notes to me, Love Quinn, after the character. So
Oh,
that's a
okay.
lot of fun. But this character in particular has taken some fun twists that I wasn't expecting, and there's more to come. So
So what is that like? Like in terms of okay, so how did you land in writing?
I've always just, when I was a kid, I inhaled books. Like I read everything I could get my hands on. Everything. My mom would go crazy trying to hide her books because some of them weren't meant for kids. So
Yep, we have that same issue with my daughter. Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, and everything I write right now, my kids have all read. So I mean,
Oh, okay.
they're in their 20s, but they were reading them back when they were in their teens. Just for
That's
mom's request.
crazy sweet.
Yeah. Because I remember being that kid and wanting to read everything, and finding a couple of books that I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't what my mom wanted me to read. But
So going back to your first book where you sat down, did you have training in writing, or other than being a writer? And writing is just, it's an act. It's not like some people go to school to learn. Sure, that just fast forwards a lot of the growth or whatever. But yeah, so what was your development as a writer, other than always writing?
yeah, basically for me it was just always writing and always learning. And when I did move originally from Alberta to Ontario, I was lucky enough to get in with a couple of writing groups. And I learned a lot from other people about their journey and how they learned how to write and what they knew. And they would edit my work and give me feedback. And my first book came out about 10 years ago, but I was writing before that and getting feedback all the time on my grammar, my punctuation, the fact that I put in so many exclamation marks. I have a friend who was ready to slap me. It was like, I'm going to smack your hand when I see you.
That's
Stop that.
funny.
All these years later, I have learned a lot of different things that, if you go to school and do the training and stuff, yeah, you'll learn that right then and there. But when you're doing, when you have another life on the side and you just can't go and do that, you learn any way you can. And the more people that you can talk to and work with, the far better your writing will be.
Oh, of course, for sure. Well, especially writing is ultimately you're doing it for an audience. You know, either you're very consciously writing for a specific reader in a way, or you're externalizing some narrative that you're like, okay, well, at the end of the day, I want somebody to read this. So
Or you just have to get it out of your head.
yeah, okay. So, but then to cross that barrier, that threshold, to cross that make that first big step of sitting down and finalizing a manuscript. How long did that take you?
My first book, ooh, it took a long time.
Yep.
I had a couple of people read it and give feedback, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and submit this. And it wasn't going anywhere. I
Mm,
couldn't get people to notice. I would get like, well, send me something else when you get something else. It's like, okay.
yeah.
I ended up, though, getting into an online critique group. And as we would critique each other's pieces of work, there was one person that I thought, you know what, I really like what she does and what she says and how she says it. Because you can have a great editor, but if they kind of smack you every time that they're
Yeah.
giving you
Yeah.
feedback, you're not going to listen to them. She was somebody that I respected, and I listened to what she said. And she took my book, she read through it, gave me notes, and said, when you're done, send it to this person. And she gave me the name and an email. And I'm like, why would I send
Oh,
it to this?
nice.
So why would I send it to this person? So I Googled her, and she was an agent.
Nice.
So this lady was a reader for an agent, and that's how I got an agent from the start.
That's great.
It was crazy. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so yeah, it's a great shot. Take us back to when you made the photo of the pad on the side of that beach. So are you very is this a favorite beach that you usually go to, or is this just like, oh, first time in forever?
It was. Now I'm not out there anymore, so I won't be out
Yeah.
there. But yeah, friend and I would go out there quite often, and I would sit and write, and my friend would be off fishing or whatever, and it was just great. I could just put my feet up
Nice.
and not worry about anything.
Sweet photo. Okay, let's move on to the next. So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it